Guitarist Dewey Finn and his band, No Vacancy, perform a song in preparation for the Battle of the Bands competition in 3 weeks. In the performance's climax, Dewey removes his shirt and jumps off the stage, only to fall as no one catches him. The following morning, he's woken up by his best friend Ned Schneebly and his girlfriend Patty. Patty works as an assistant in the mayor's office, and Ned fears losing her as his time in the dating pool is running out. Patty wants Dewey to start paying rent as he has freeloaded on Ned for too long. Ned is a little reluctant, but upon Patty's insistence, he tells Dewey to either pay the rent or move out. Dewey meets up with his band, but they fire him and hire Spider as his replacement. Dewey is angry as he is the one who started the band, but as the decision is unanimous, he has to leave. Back in the apartment, Dewey gets a call from Horace Green Prep School headmistress Rosalie Mullins. The woman is looking for Ned since he's a registered substitute teacher. Rosalie needs Ned to start working immediately as the regular teacher got into an accident. Dewey asks how much the subs are paid and learns they get $650 a week. He quickly jumps on the opportunity by impersonating Ned and driving to the school. He meets the principal and demands to be paid up front, but can only be paid after the week. Rosalie instructs Dewey to direct insubordinate students to her office. Dewey is taken to the class he will teach and asked to introduce himself. Since he doesn't know the spelling of Ned's surname, he adopts the nickname Mr. S. He has no interest in teaching, so he tells the kids to do whatever they please. The class's top achiever student, Summer, welcomes Dewey to the school and asks to show him the schedule for merits. Dewey explains that the students will have no grades, tests, or merits. Meanwhile, Dewey is disappointed when people aren't interested in joining his new band. Even Ned refuses to join him as he thinks it's time to give up on the unrealistic dreams. The following day, Dewey is in a bad mood. He yells at the students, saying that education is a waste as they are all at the mercy of the man. He wants the students to give up as nothing is worth fighting for. Rosalie gets in the class, saying it's time for the students' music class. Dewey is in the washroom when he hears the students making music. He heads to the music room, fascinated by what he sees. An idea comes to mind. He gets his rock music instruments and starts assigning roles to the kids depending on their performance in the music class. Zach, whose strict father forbids him to play music, is the lead guitarist. Lawrence played the piano, so he becomes the pianist. Katie played the cello, so she is given the bass guitar, while Freddie Jones, the percussionist, becomes the drummer. Dewey gives the kids fancy names to fit their band position. Dewey tells the kids that they have a new school project called the Rock Band and warns them against telling anyone about it, as they need to be discreet to win the top prize. At lunch, Lawrence wants to quit the band as he is unpopular, but Dewey encourages him to stay on as all rock band members are cool. Since the other students want to participate in the band, Dewey assigns security, roadrunners, and groupies. Summer protests her role, so Dewey makes her the band manager. Dewey makes the students pledge allegiance to the band, and after noise-proofing the classroom, the band starts rocking. He also assigns reading homework to the class, demanding they do research on famous bands. He has written a song for the band and sings it to the class. Luckily, they approve. Dewey asks Rosalie permission to take the students on a road trip, but she refuses as subs don't have field mandates. He avoids talking with the other teachers, afraid that one might uncover his ruse. Another student, Tamika, with low esteem, approaches Dewey wanting to be a singer, and he agrees as she has an amazing voice. Dewey witnesses Zach's father berating him for playing music in the parking lot. He teaches the students to let their frustrations out and stand for themselves through music. As the days go by, Dewey stops avoiding the teachers and entertains them with wonderful stories. The students get into rock, with Dewey teaching them everything there is to know about music. Consequently, the students start adapting into rock characters, like changing their hairstyles and using weird slang. Rosalie announces the parent-teacher meeting is coming up in a few days. Dewey sneaks the students into the audition. He has a few remaining behind to trick Rosalie into believing all is well. At the audition, Dewey has to encourage Tamika to sing after she develops doubts due to her body weight. He also scolds his former team for hanging out with Zach whilst a minor. Dewey's band is denied a chance in the competition as the bill is full. However, Summer comes up with an idea to help them. Dewey lies that the kids are terminally ill, and this gets them in. Summer and the groupies come up with the band's name, School of Rock. Dewey realizes that Zach has written a song, so he has the students practice and learn it. One day, Rosalie comes into the class, but the students have hidden all the musical equipment. Rosalie spots Dewey's guitar, and Dewey chalks it up to being his teaching method. After the class, Dewey explains that the technique is experimental, so Rosalie suggests he stick to the school curriculum. Dewey remembers something a teacher told him earlier and asks Rosalie for a coffee. He takes her to a bar and gets her beer. He then puts on Rosalie's favorite music on the jukebox. Taking advantage of her happy mood, Dewey asks permission to take the students on a field trip, and she promises to make an exception. Rosalie feels that all the other teachers hate her since none has ever invited her to do something after school. Dewey carefully comforts her, saying that the others are intimidated. Dewey prepares the students for the competition, urging them to rise above their fears and excel. After class, he approaches Rosalie to remind her of the field trip. Rosalie is a little reluctant, so Dewey agrees to escort her to the parent-teacher meeting later that night. Dewey prepares for the evening at home while Ned looks at the mail. Suddenly, he sees a check for $1,200 addressed to him by Horace Green Prep School. He calls the school about the check, but Dewey cuts the call short. He explains everything and asks Ned to give him a day, and then he will reveal everything to Rosalie. Unfortunately, Patty walks in as Dewey is leaving. Dewey meets up with Rosalie and tries to explain that he isn't a teacher, but she thinks he's embarrassed because he's a sub. Dewey talks with the parents, but they all want to know why the kids are so into music and his questionable teaching methods. The students want to tell the parents about the secret rock project. Suddenly, an officer appears by the door, followed by Ned, Patty, Rosalie, and another officer. Realizing that the jig is up, Dewey tells the parents how talented their kids are, encouraging them to support their musical talents instead of book achievements only. In a panic, Dewey makes an accidental, inappropriate comment about touching the kids, causing the parents to gasp in horror. Back home, Dewey gets into a screaming argument with Patty. Ned tells them to stop and asks Dewey to move out, saying that it's time he quit music because he might not be as good as he thought. The following morning, the students are bummed about everything. However, they decide to perform as they have spent so much time practicing for it. The kids get into the school bus and tell the driver they will pick up Dewey at his apartment. Meanwhile, the parents yell at Rosalie for her recklessness. Rosalie is overwhelmed and leaves the parents, only to find the new sub-teacher reporting that the students are missing. The students get to Dewey's apartment and motivate him to go to the competition. Dewey walks out just as Patty and Ned come in. He apologizes to the students for using them, but the students want to get to the competition. Ned decides to see the show and ignores Patty's complaints, standing up for himself. Rosalie tells the parents that the students are missing. At the competition, the band is next on stage. Dewey decides to play Zach's song, saying the aim isn't to win, but to make a great show. The School of Rock follows No Vacancy on stage, and Rosalie and the parents get to the show, but they must buy tickets for admittance. When the parents are in, they find the students about to perform. The band performs amazingly, winning over the crowd and making the parents proud. Dewey jumps into the crowd, and this time they carry him around. After the performance, Rosalie goes backstage and congratulates the students and Dewey for an amazing performance. Unfortunately, No Vacancy wins the competition, making Dewey devastated, but the students remind him that it isn't about the reward, but suddenly they hear the crowd chanting their name. The crowd demands an encore from the School of Rock as they don't approve of No Vacancy as the winner. Sometime later, Dewey opens a School of Rock school teaching advanced rock. Summer has many offers for shows and record deals for the band. Ned rediscovers his music passion and teaches beginner classes. The film ends with kids rehearsing for their next show in Dewey's apartment. Do leave a comment telling us your favorite part of the movie. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next recap. Until next time, folks, take care and goodbye.